California's Communities is supported by the California Redevelopment Association Foundation, a statewide organization made up of cities, counties, nonprofits, and private businesses sharing a common goal of bringing renewed life to neighborhoods and downtowns by expanding local businesses, creating jobs, building affordable housing, restoring buildings, and improving public facilities and infrastructure. Redevelopment, building better communities throughout California.
This is catching you off guard, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We just walked in. Here's the setup. Every once in a while we get to the location where we're going to be shooting one of our shows a little early, and we have to kill time. That's what's happened to us this morning. We got here at 9. Our plane got in at 9. We don't start shooting till 11. But everybody in town said that we had to come here for breakfast, that this place is legendary. Vicki, where are we? We just met. Your name is?
Vicki Summerfield, and we're in Alameda, California.
And where are we right now?
Ole's Waffle Shop.
Ole's Waffle Shop. Now, what's the history on Ole?
It's been here since 1927, and a Swedish man and his wife opened it up. And the batter is made from scratch since back then.
Made from scratch.
From scratch.
Because I gotta tell you, everybody in town said, go to Ole's for breakfast.
That's true. This is the place.
All right, we're here. We've already hit you up for some pancakes and some waffles, because we can't decide which one we want the most. Which is the most famous?
The waffles.
The waffles are famous here.
Ole's Waffle Shop.
Look at those plates.
Yeah, pancake combo. We came 440-something miles to eat at Ole's.
You did not. You're just saying that.
We did. No, we drove in yesterday.
So you had heard about this place? You've been here before?
Yes, we have. Our daughter and son-in-law live in Alameda, and they brought us here, and we keep coming back.
Look at this, and we have corralled. Your name is?
Dolores Jean-Pierre.
All right, now, you're famous, aren't you?
Sometime.
But don't tell us what you just told us a minute ago.
Well, yeah, I've been here 31 years. I've been back 13 years, so I could say I'm famous.
But you've been written up in a book.
Yes, they wrote a book on me.
And what was the book about?
About waitresses, waitresses that been career waitresses. That's what it's about, career waitresses.
So you are a career waitress.
Yes, I am. And I'm a bail bondsman for 27 years.
Now,
I'm all around.
You gonna eat all of that?
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna give it a try.
You got busted on cameras, what you did.
I told you.
You got busted.
Yes, we did.
Well, I did it. I cleaned my plate, all in the name of research. I had a pancake and a waffle, both of them made from scratch, both of them about the best I've ever had in my life. When you come to Alameda, you gotta come to Ole's for breakfast. This place is a classic. And now that we've finished our breakfast, it's time for us to start the program we came here to shoot. We've come to Alameda, which is one of the finest of California's communities. The chimes are ringing. It's still a little overcast. It's noon, but that's par for the course here in the Bay Area. I'm standing here with
Leslie Little.
Okay, you're with the Economic
Development
Department here for the city of Alameda.
That's right.
Now, that's what we're here to talk about. Now, you've heard we got here early.
That's right.
We had breakfast at Ole.
Oh, it's the best place in town. Been around for years and years and years.
And
everybody stops there.
Ole's is part of the downtown redevelopment, isn't it?
That's correct.
This is one of the city's 2 historic business districts, and this is a redevelopment project area. And these folks have been really active trying to revitalize and create some kind of a catalyst for their business district.
You've got a beautiful business district down here. We kind of walked around because Ole's is a block down and a block over.
Right.
And all of these storefronts are beginning to come back to life. You have some beautiful architecture.
We do.
In Alameda as well.
We do. We have a little smattering of Victorian and just a lot of beautiful brick buildings, just stunning, really, really stunning buildings.
And I have a feeling that this downtown was an example of one of those downtowns, old downtowns that was heading down. It had seen better days. It was falling in disrepair until all of this revitalization started happening.
You know, it's had its different cycles. It was hurt years ago with the mall that was built and then came back, and then again it had a little downturn. But the business associations here have been really active along with owners, and they've been fighting to preserve, protect, and expand this business district. And I think they're incredibly successful. Look at the pedestrians we have. It's great.
Yeah.
But there's more foot traffic here than you'll find in a lot of places that have been spending millions of dollars to try to revitalize.
Well, you're doing a great job, and it's no accident that we're standing out in front of this. This has to be the showpiece. What are we looking at right now, Leslie?
You're looking at the historic Alameda Theater. It is a movie palace. And a year ago, we were able to reopen it as a movie palace. It sits about 700 people inside, and adjacent to it, we built 7 screens, and they've become the economic engine that creates enough energy here to pay for the ongoing operation and maintenance of this gorgeous Art Deco facility.
Look at all the traffic that's going by here, too. There's a lot of energy going on in downtown Alameda.
And if you came back when the sun was out, the street would be mobbed and people would be sitting with their pets at the wine bar or down in a restaurant. And even at night, you'll see people standing at 10:30 at night to get in line to some of our restaurants. It's fabulous.
Okay, we've come inside the beautiful, historic, fully restored Alameda Theater, and we've hooked up with our new guides. Sue, you're also with Economic Development in the city of Alameda. We've been talking about this for a while on the phone. You didn't prepare me.
I just wanted you to be surprised when you got here.
And overwhelmed.
Good.
What are we looking at here?
The last great movie palace built in the Bay Area, 1932.
Wow, this is absolutely spectacular. It's hardcore Art Deco,
Yes, sir, it is. We almost lost it. This has been a huge question mark hanging over Alameda for the last 20 years, what to do with the Alameda Theater. It's a very complex project.
Can you remember the first time you walked in here when it was in its bad period?
Yes, I almost cried. It was incredibly sad. Today you see it, it's beautiful, it's golden and rose colored, but then it had all been painted white. Almost all the detail had been lost. Chandelier was hanging out of the ceiling. The grand hand-painted velvet curtains were laying in water. Graffiti was everywhere. It had been occupied by homeless people for a while, and it was a building that was dying, truly.
Well, see, that's a challenge for redevelopment.
It was definitely a challenge for redevelopment.
Ben, you're the house manager.
Yes, sir.
Did they bring it back okay? Is this the way?
They brought it back the way it was. This is 1932.
This captures your eye when you walk in. Actually, there are 2 of them. What are we looking at
Well,
here?
we're looking at the 2 original Toucher lights. They were here when the theater was open, and when the theater closed in 79, through whatever happenstance, they ended up at the Smithsonian in Washington.
So these left here and went to the Smithsonian in 1979.
That's correct.
How'd you get them back?
Well,
you asked the Smithsonian for them back.
Actually, they sent them to us. I think they needed the room.
Wow, these are spectacular.
They came back with vintage light bulbs, and the thing was working. We just had to plug it in.
Gosh, and how much of this look at the ceiling here. Do you call this a skylight?
I call that the skylight. It's actually not a skylight. That's all neon inside.
Wow. And down here up on the Is this just a little viewing balcony up here? There'd be no reason to have something like that.
It's a mezzanine. In the old days, going to the movies was more than just going to the movies. You'd go to socialize. You'd go to show off your best duds. You know, walk your lady around, and that's what the mezzanine was for. Where you can see the mural, as it originally was, has been restored.
And what's this up on the ceiling up here?
That's a coffered ceiling, the coffered ceiling panels.
So these are original?
Yes, sir, and they were actually in relatively good condition. So a little touch-up had to be done, but not that much.
And look at these beautiful staircases over here. This whole thing is very grand, very elegant.
That was the idea. You didn't just go to see the show. You went to be part of a community, and that's what we were trying to bring back, and I think we've succeeded.
Moviegoers are pouring in. Good morning. How y'all doing? It's nice to see people back, isn't it?
Well, everyone loves the movies.
And everyone has to come through this lobby, whether they're going to the old theater, which is this way,
right,
or
to the new theater.
The new theaters. There are how many of them?
There's 7 screens in the Cineplex.
And this is what Sue was talking about when she said you had to figure out a way to make this economically viable.
One-screen theaters are no longer profitable in this day and age, so this is the engine that allows us to have the classic theater and lobby.
So everybody walks through the lobby.
Right.
And then you just cut this hole in the side of the old building.
And you enter the future.
To lead into the 7 new theaters.
That's right.
Down here.
Exactly.
So you kind of got the economic engine down here as well.
Right.
But you've kept the lobby so that everybody has that old theater movie palace experience.
Exactly. The chance to promenade into the theater.
Wow. And here's the old theater right there. Look at this. I mean, look at this. What do you call something like this?
I call it art, sir.
But it's like so is this original to
yes, Yes, it is.
Oh, it's so wonderful that those things are preserved.
And a lot of serendipity in this place being restored.
What do you mean?
Serendipity? Well, a lot of things came together. The universe obviously wanted this to happen.
Yeah. Because we can't really shoot in there. There's a movie going on now.
That's right. Light is the natural enemy of a good movie theater.
Very dark in there, but we have some wonderful photographs of the inside of the big theater as well. But I got to tell you, it's not just the place where the movie is shown that's so special.
Yeah.
It's the whole lobby, the big neon sign outside.
Traditional movie-going experience. You're not just going to go watch a movie. You're going to a location. You're going to the theater.
It's an event.
Yeah, and the way it should be, the way it was, and the way it is again.
Look at the windows. Look at the work, the architecture on just another one of many, many buildings up and down this street.
Right, and not just the windows, but you'll notice along the side, this is all terracotta tile.
All this.
People have loved these buildings and taken really good care of them for many years, as you can see.
But they were in disrepair and this whole area wasn't as vibrant as this was.
That's right. In fact, just this last year, we did 10 to 12, I think, facade grants on this street and our other business district to try to help keep these buildings revitalized and just rejuvenated. They're very old buildings. They take a lot of work.
And you were apologizing because the new historic lamp posts aren't up on this block like they are on the others, but all of this is being restored, right?
That's right. We have a streetscape in place. We've been doing it for a number of years, and we'll get to this in the spring.
So every street...
Great businesses. Aren't they wonderful?
Look at this.
Isn't this great?
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
And look up here. I mean, all of this is that metal right there?
I don't know if that's metal or wood underneath, but I think the studs are metal.
Boy, this whole place.
Pretty.
We could do a whole program and look across the street at the bookstore over there.
Sure.
All of this and all the way down here.
Now that whole building was all restored by one owner just a few years ago, about 4.5, 5 years ago. Wow. And they're fabulous.
Wow, the city's got good bones.
We have fabulous infrastructure, yes.
You call it infrastructure, I call it good bones.
Good bones. We're going to go in here and have ice cream.
Uh-oh. From pancakes and waffles to ice cream, you eat well when you come to Alameda.
That's right. It's an art. It's an art.
Look at this. I feel like I'm going back in time. Look at these chandeliers. Look at this.
They still make it here today, and they make all those great specialty items at Christmas, like the snowballs and the special, different ice cream pies and cakes and things. And after the movies, this place is packed in the evening.
It's obviously still popular. Hi, kids. Everybody's eating their ice cream cones, got it all over their mouth. Nothing changes. And look at this. Look at the old menus on the wall, the whole feeling of the place. This is like
down there on the stove.
Old school right here.
It is, and people love it. And people come from all over to eat where you ate this morning, to come to Tucker's and have ice cream and enjoy all sorts of things that are all unique to Alameda.
Look what's written up here. Life is uncertain. Eat dessert first. Tucker's super creamed ice cream, Alameda. This is the real thing. Okay, we had to do it. Henry's got the cones here for us.
Traditional Rocky Road ice cream. It has chocolate ice cream, marshmallows, and almonds.
I'm getting the traditional Rocky Road. This has been here forever, right?
Forever, since 1941.
And what's Leslie getting?
This one is actually a Rosenblum Zinfandel. It's a winery that we use their Rosenblum wine to create.
Zinfandel ice cream.
That's right. This is from our local winery. This is a partnership.
There's a winery in the city of Alameda?
We have 2 wineries in the city of Alameda. We also make vodka in Alameda.
Well, that's another whole story there. So this place is old school, but very cutting edge at the same time.
Oh yeah, we try to keep with, a lot of people suggest flavors, and we try to, keep them happy and try new different flavors. We have over 100 flavors that we try to rotate in and out.
And you make them right?
Make it right upstairs.
Upstairs?
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's good. But mine is much better than yours. Sorry.
Okay, now it gets very interesting. We've come less than a mile from historic downtown Alameda. We're standing in front of what is obviously a brand new shopping center. But Leslie, the story is about the shopping center, but more than that, it's about the relationship between the new shopping center and
the waterfront, our estuary here between Oakland and Alameda, which
is amazing.
It is. It's a collection of all sorts of new uses. You'll see new housing across the way, and the shopping center, of course, here. But it's a working waterfront, because as you walk down further, you'll see shipyards, and you'll see integrated space of different commercial and residential projects. And then you get down to the Oakland waterfront, where you actually see the big tankers and containers, cargo ships come in and unload all day.
Is there a pathway that, look at this pathway goes all up and down here?
There is. Along most waterfront areas or most waterfront communities now, there's been policies in place that have started this integrated network of, we call them, Bay Area trails or waterfront trails. And so this is part of a trail system that eventually in Alameda hooks up all around the island with other parks and other public pathways.
So there's a new appreciation of the estuary. Absolutely. And let's stand back over here, because that's where the shopping center comes into place. There's a great story about this shopping center.
That's right. The original shopping center that was here was built in the early 70s. And it actually, by the time I got here in 2005, had been empty for quite some time. And the redevelopment agency acquired the shopping center and found a new developer, and we completely took down every building and started from scratch. And part of that process was to reorient this regional shopping center into this waterfront so that it would embrace the water.
So the idea is the old shopping center had been facing...
Yeah, it kind of turned its back on the water, because the water wasn't used, and there weren't
Wasn't appreciated back
then. Certainly, I think you're right. It just wasn't appreciated the same way it is today.
So you turn the shopping center around so that it opens up out onto the estuary.
Right. And for example, the grocery store that used to be here took its loading off the back here, and so this was just a work center off this waterfront.
Boy, this is beautiful out here. I've never seen this.
We're in between these two working bridges, and you see all the working boats and pleasure craft at the same time. A little tidbit, Alameda has more boat slips than any other city other than Marina del Rey in the state of California.
You're kidding.
We have thousands of them all around the island.
You just don't see them.
No, you don't. We're an island. We're separated by a few bridges and one underground tube, and so you just don't see them.
Wow. This goes all the way around, so Alameda really is literally an island.
Right.
A local artist out here on the estuary. Your name is?
Iris Saber.
And you know what? I love your painting.
Thank you.
I love the boat itself. This boat is out of central casting, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
It doesn't get any better than this. Do you come out here a lot and just hang out and paint?
Yes, actually, I have painted here quite a bit.
Yeah.
Last week there was a paint out that was put on by the Frank Bett Gallery in Alameda.
A paint out?
A paint out, yeah, and 40 of us plein air artists painted all over Alameda.
Well, there's a lot to see. I mean, it's a feast for the eyes, all this old stuff that's got history and charm, and it's got a good feel here, doesn't it?
I love this boat, and I love the water. The light on the water is gorgeous, and the bridges are beautiful. I understand this boat was dredged up from underneath the water here.
Really? Oh, wow.
Somebody else fell in love with it, too, and they dredged it up.
Saved it, and now you're putting it on canvas. This is spectacular. And now we get to the real interesting, real big challenge facing the good redevelopment people here in Alameda. We're on board the old Alameda Naval Air Station, 2,000 acres of prime real estate right on the waterfront, right here in Alameda. This base closed over 10 years ago.
That's right.
The Navy still owns this base.
That's right.
But the city of Alameda is trying to work with a developer to come in and take over this big old base and do something with it. And that's a challenge because everywhere you go on this base, there are these huge, big, old buildings that are historic and are empty.
That's right. And there are communities all up and down California and across the United States are dealing with these same challenges. We're attempting to reuse a little less than 1,000 acres of this because a lot of it now is going to be wildlife sanctuary. But
1,000 acres is still a lot
of property.
And a lot of this property, look over here, there's one of these beautiful big old historic hangar buildings. You know, as a former Marine, I'm a sucker for old military bases. I love the architecture, I love the feel, I love thinking about all the stories of all the men and women that passed through here from generation to generation. It's a shame to see them sitting empty, but they really do present a huge challenge because what do you hope to do with all of this?
Well, you know, we're not going to try to save all of them, but we do need to try to save the things that are most significant. And I think that our mission is going to be to try to blend old and new together. We need to make use of the property, but we need to protect a lot of these older facilities. And, you know, they were made at a time for a single purpose, and we're not going to use them for those purposes again.
Well, they're not airplane hangars anymore.
Right. And in today's world, trying to reuse those big things, I mean, it's expensive and it's tough, and you need people who are really creative.
And you want to blend all of this now back into the community as well, because Alameda traditionally was a Navy town.
It was a Navy town, but this part of town really was not part of the community. It was always the Navy's. Now we need to integrate it into part of the community.
Okay, we have come inside one of these big old hangar buildings. We've hooked up with
Brad Shuck.
Okay, Brad, what's going on in here? This is a big space, a lot of activity in here.
Yeah, it's a gigantic rec center. It's Palladium Sports Club.
Okay, a recreation center. What was it like when you first, how did you get here? Did you just say, I need a big space?
Pretty much. We heard that the Navy was moving out, and we need a big space to do our thing, which is indoor soccer, hockey, boxing, fitness center, rock climbing, volleyball, lacrosse, just about every kind of sport you can think of. We like to do it under one roof.
Well, you can do it under this roof and have space left over.
Yeah. Well, actually, we're running out of space, so we need more room.
Well, what happened when you first got here?
We had to take out everything. It was an old hangar that was antiquated. It needed all new upgrades to electrical. A lot of demolition. There was a 2-story structure right in the middle of this building, which got ripped out. There was some asbestos work. There was some abatement work, and a lot of dollars later, this is what we have.
Yeah, but look what you got.
Yeah,
this is a beautiful.
They don't make the buildings like this anymore.
Big old space.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We are very happy here.
Did you think it would end up looking like this, or did you have your doubts at first?
I always knew, but my investors, some people had some doubts, and it was great working with the city. The city kind of saw our vision, and they went along with us, and it ultimately turned out great.
Well, we're ending up back in front of one of these beautiful big old historic hangars. We've come to another vantage point here at the former Alameda Naval Air Station. Right out on the point here, looking out at San Francisco, it's beginning to cloud up. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, time for the clouds to start rolling in. But boy, what a wonderful day we have had in Alameda. I know San Francisco. I didn't know hardly anything about Alameda, and I have a feeling I'm not that out of the ordinary, am I?
Well, it's hard to tell, but I think it's a well-kept secret. But more and more people are finding us every day. And once they find us, they come back again and again and again, or they move here.
Yeah, because you've got the history here, you've got the wonderful old buildings, you've got a sense of community, you got a lot of family businesses here. Redevelopment is doing a wonderful job with your historic downtown.
Very
you got
safe.
The wonderful,
it's wonderful.
old Alameda Theater.
Yeah.
You've got the challenge of what to do with this big old naval air station. Really, redevelopment is to be congratulated for what you have done and continue to do with this jewel of a city called Alameda.
Well, thanks. And we have lots more that we want to do. So we're hoping that we can just continue to tackle one project after the other and be as successful as we have.
Well, we're standing here looking out at San Francisco. We should be standing in San Francisco looking this way at the island community of Alameda.
Although that's a spectacular view.
It is.
If you're in Alameda, you get that great view.
In fact, as part of your redevelopment, I know what we can do. We can build my house just about right there.
Right next to mine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've had a wonderful day here in Alameda, this wonderful community, which is one of the best of California's communities. Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed our day-long adventure in Alameda. What a nice community. And if you'd like to go on this adventure again or share it with family or friends, it's available on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.
California's Communities is supported by the California Redevelopment Association Foundation, a statewide organization made up of cities, counties, nonprofits, and private businesses sharing a common goal of bringing renewed life to neighborhoods and downtowns by expanding local businesses, creating jobs, building affordable housing, restoring buildings, and improving public facilities and infrastructure. Redevelopment, building better communities throughout California.